What a beautiful day. The sun's coming out. And the birds are singing. There's just a lot of sounds. And I think that's beautiful. Oh, confirmation. Oh, you see this ray of sunshine? Ray, like my name. But doesn't this look so cool? Like, look how powerful the sun is. It's the closest star to us, right? Not only is the sun the closest star to us. No, wait, that is the only thing. but what I was gonna say was that after our sun, the closest solar system to us is Alpha Centauri, and it has two stars. So imagine waking up and there's a sun right here, and then there's a sun right here. Imagine the effects that would bring on whatever there's there, like grass, plants. Because if the plants here are green because of the light that the sun gives us, imagine how it would be like in a planet with two suns that we probably don't even know what kind of energy they're transmitting. That is why the plants here are green. That is why the sky looks blue. That is why, confirmation. Thank you. So imagine all of that being different in another solar system. Actually, hold on. I forgot my thing. Here you go. Did I say? But anyways, welcome back to my YouTube channel, guys. Welcome back to Revelation 11:27, where we speak the truth and where you can be yourself in a world where people just make you feel guilty or make you feel bad for being yourself because they can't be themselves, because they're embarrassed. They feel ashamed of the type of evil individuals that they are. And it's not my problem. It's none of you guys' problem, really. What it is really is that confirmation. They are aware of what they have to fix. They are aware that they have to change, and they're not willing to do that, right? They're not willing to sit back and reflect so they can stop judging others, so they can stop hating on people. But they're not willing to do that because if they have to do that, they would have to really look back at everything that they've done. So they don't do that. And what happens? They continue to wake up each day and pile up more karma, right? Because they think that they're bigger than God. But it's okay. They don't think that anymore. Let me tell you that. They don't think that anymore because I'm here. Papi's here. Take a sip of my coffee. Attention, spirit world. I have arrived to deliver your messages today. Hope you guys are staying motivated. I hope you guys are excited for today, because a lot of things can happen today, right? But you can't close yourself up to that. Right? You can't wake up angry. You can't wake up unmotivated. And really, that only happens when you're not passionate for life, when you don't have anything that you have passion for. That's when people wake up unmotivated. That's when people wake up, and it's okay if you wake up unmotivated, right? But I mean, it's not okay, but I'm saying that compared to waking up unmotivated, and just because you feel unmotivated, you start hating on others, you start creating chaos and drama because you feel unmotivated. No, you need to deal with whatever it is that you're going through. It's no one's fault. In fact, it's been your fault all along. You know, we have to take accountability for our actions, even our past actions. But let me tell you something. When you have passion, right? When you love what you do, like me, when your ideas are natural, when your gifts are natural and organic, you don't got to steal from anyone. You don't got to copy anyone. You don't even need to look at what anyone else is doing in their life. Because your connection to the universe, your connection to God, will give you endless amounts of ideas, will give you endless amounts of motivation, will give you endless amounts of passion, which is something that all of these karmic people lack. So what do? Since they are unable to connect to God, to get their ideas, to get their energy. Like I said on the last video, right? Regular people get their energy from source, from God. Even if they're not fully connected or spiritually awakened. You know, a normal person, my candle turned off. A normal person gets their energy from source, from God. Now, we have two-dimensional beings, one-dimensional beings, like these narcissists, right? Like these serial killers, like these pedophiles, like these people, like these thieves, like these criminals that are unable to connect to God. So when they are unable to connect to God, they are unable to gain energy. They become exhausted super quick. And what does that result in? Them siphoning energy from others. Being the energy vampires that they are. And they siphon your energy by simply you being in the same room as them. By you continuously texting them even though you want nothing to do with them. They'll siphon your energy through sex magic and try to tempt you with lusty, nasty energies. And you know, blah, blah, blah. That's how they siphon your energy. They keep you confused. They bring in trouble, chaos into your life to make you feel worried, to make you feel confused. But that, my friend, is all a game, right? That they play. When you cut off all power sources from them, they'll become depleted. They won't know how to behave since they've been copying someone else's personality for the longest. They wouldn't be able to come up with new ideas, because those ideas that they had from the beginning were not even theirs anyways. They stole it from probably me or someone else. What do we need to know, Spirit? What do we need to see? 9 of Earth. Okay, so 9 of Earth is a life of happiness, of being content. Look at the older woman there, enjoying the fruits of her labor. Maybe she's worked her whole life. Maybe you've worked a long time to have the life that you have, whatever it is, right? Everyone's happy life could seem different, right? Some people just know what's important, know that love is the most important thing in life. Others see happiness differently, right? And that is another topic. What else we need to see, Spirit? Yeah, so there was something that you had to release in the recent past for you to be able to have this life of happiness. Maybe there was some truth that you had to speak up. Maybe that's what was released. When you spoke up about how you felt, you released emotions that had to be released in order for you to be at peace, to be happy. Oh my gosh. And whatever truth you spoke caused an ending, right? An ending to probably a life that was not the life that you wanted, maybe with people that you didn't want. And that is amazing, right? So, a lot of the times, I think most of the times, really, you have to do that. You have to cut off these people that are siphoning energy from you because they cannot get regular energy from the sun, from God, from source, because they are not connected, and God wants nothing to do with them because of all the evil shit they've been doing, right? So because you've spoken some kind of truth, maybe how you felt, maybe about things that you didn't see right, that allowed for feelings, for people to be released from your life, right? So you could sit here and actually be in a happy environment, in a loving environment. But the truth had to be spoken. You had to have stood your ground, right? Like this guy right here, he's standing his ground. He has power of the brain, the sword. And now releasing that with the 3 of Earth here, that is allowing you to maybe collaborate with someone. See how the girl's there collaborating, she's painting, she's being creative, right? Maybe now you can use your talents, you can use your skills, you can use your creativity on a new project, maybe on a new business with the 3 of Earth here. And yeah, because 9 of Earth, maybe you already had money, but maybe that was obtained maybe through childhood, or maybe you had a different career than the career that you want right now, or the job or the business that you're trying to be a part of right now, where your talents and skills are going to be portrayed, right? Maybe your talents and skills are going to be used with someone else's talents and skills, and that will, create, that is called a collaboration. And you've been with a wise counselor here. It's like you've been getting the signs from spirit. You've been getting the signs from God, from the universe, about everything, really, about everything that's happened. You got the signs of what you needed to release in order for you to be happy, and you released that. You got the signs that you needed to speak up for yourself and stand up for yourself, and maybe stand up for others that are being mistreated. And you got the signs and you're listening to it. Ooh, all these beautiful birds. Bye-bye. And you're listening to your guidance. You're being more connected to God. And that is beautiful. Because look where it's taking you. 10 of water. Didn't we get the 10 of cups yesterday? This is where everything that you've been doing, even if it seems hard, this is where it's taking you. Every little decision that you've made has been so you could be in a loving family. Maybe your own family, maybe a part of someone else's family, but with a group of people that you will consider family. There's a wife and a husband here, and it could be a husband and a husband. It could be a wife and a wife. There's kids there, and all these cups full of water, full of beautiful emotions, happiness, peace, harmony. And that is something that maybe you were sitting here in your backyard alone before, wondering, when am I going to have that? When am I going to be happy? Well, when you released what needed to be released, and you did it. When you learned how to stand up for yourself and stand up for others, and you did it. And now you want to work with someone else, right? And you want to start a business with someone else, where both of you guys can use your creativity. And this is telling me that this partnership, this union, this new family that you're coming into will allow for you to explore your creativity. It will allow for you to feel more. Maybe you weren't used to feeling this. Look how happy they are. This environment will provide depth, right? So you can feel. Because when you don't feel, you're just here like a wandering soul, floating around, not growing. That's why people that skip over their feelings, or people that skip over hard situations because they don't want to feel, or they don't want to feel sad, or they don't want to cry, they don't learn anything. People that don't break generational curses and just settle for unhappy families, unhappy marriages, they don't learn nothing either. But yeah, let's see what else we got. Which really, if you think about it, that is why most people that reach an older age say, oh, I wish I would have done this, I wish I would have done that. Or or you meet really bitter and angry older people, and that is because they've gone through problems, they've gone through situations, but they haven't learned from any of them. Instead, they've just taken the easy road out, avoiding to feel confirmation, avoiding to rectify their mistakes, and just fooling I don't know who, continuing living on like, oh, I don't have to do anything, I don't have to blah, 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 blah. And then they get to that age and they're like, fuck, why is my life still the same? Why is my brain still the same? Because you haven't learned anything, and you were conscious about that. Instead, you kept doing the same thing over and over again. What else do we need to see, Spirit? Yeah. So something you've been working on, right, has been taking you time. It's been taking you a lot of work. But you're taking your time with this work. You're not just doing it just to do it. No. You're perfecting it how the guy is there, right? Hammering each little pentacle one by one. But he's taking his time because obviously quality is better than quantity, right? And if you want, and this can lead up to anything. It could lead to an education. It could lead to a marriage, because all that takes time to build, to connect. What else do we got in our experience? And maybe you're becoming more protective over your finances, right? And that is amazing. That is great. Maybe after some time when you were just freely giving, right? Or maybe after some time where people were just taking from you and you probably didn't even know. And how can you not, right? Start controlling your finances? How can you not start protecting your finances when you have been taking time, your energy to build it yourself? How is someone else just going to come in, or how is someone else that you've been known going to try and take your money? things that you've worked hard for. What else do you guys see, Spirit? Yeah. And you have clarity about that with the King of Swords here. You understand who it was. You understand who's been stealing money from you this whole time. Who's been trying to control your life. Maybe people that you had around that you had to release, that we spoke about. Ooh. Yeah. And with the moon reversed here, you speaking up released any type of fear, released any type of illusion, released any type of lies that these people were creating. It released it. The moon is upside down. No more lies, no more illusions. That is why you now have mental clarity. Oh, I'm not getting out of these. Thank you, though, Spirit. Thank you. And look, because you've literally reversed all the lies with what you've learned by being the King of Swords and speaking your truth and standing up for what's right, and standing up for what's just, right? That's what every King of Swords should do, right? That's what anyone in the justice system should do. Any police officer, any judges, any lawyers, they should all be making fair and just decisions, right? Not decisions just based on how people look like or based on what degrees they have. No, a lot of people that have degrees are just dumb as fuck, really, and they act like they know everything, but yet they're over there corrupt. And we know who we're speaking about. Because you've released that, because you've released all those lies, because you've released all that negativity, all that toxicity from your life, right? That is allowing you, with the Page of Cups here, to start a new beginning in love. Right? Maybe this new beginning in love will lead, confirmation, thank you, beautiful birdie, to this 10 of water, 10 of cups. A marriage ordained by God, right? A divine connection, orchestrated, divinely planned. And you had to release all of that because, come on, if you would have allowed, do you see that bug? Yeah. If you would have allowed for those people to still be in your life, this moon card would have been upright and this wouldn't have been here. And probably you wouldn't even have had any money because they would have stole it. Right? Look at you working so hard on whatever it is that you're working hard off, to have anyone come and act like they own you, or act like they own your money, or act like they own your next steps forward. No, fuck them, literally. But I'm glad that you realized that, you released that. But yes, releasing all of that, that is why you have this new beginning of love, right? Maybe you have a message for someone. Maybe you're seeing a lot of synchronicities, right? Or hearing too. And those are all signs from the heavens, right? And look, with the Eight of Cups here, it's like you're ready for this new adventure. See this guy right there going towards the mountains? Maybe you're in a little Dora the Explorer kind of mood, and that is fine, right? Because now you can explore with people that actually matter, with friends that matter, with friends and people that will continue to help you build. With quality, right? Maybe before you were building and you were like feeling rushed because these people just bug, right? Maybe you were building and you couldn't focus because there were still things you needed to release from your life. Maybe you were there working hard and you didn't see the fruits of your labor because nothing will prosper in an environment where these karmics reside. Come for me. But now that you released all of that, right now that you really seen the devils for truly who they are, now you're ready to enjoy your life, free from any negativity, free from any of this toxicity, free from this moon energy. Literally, these people, come on, with all their little nasty rituals and sex magic and incanting my name and setting altars with photos of me, and come on, all that is burnt the fuck out. What else do we gotta see, Spirit? What else do we need to know? Third parties, thirsty, nasty, lusty, dried out, passed down, sick. That's what was released. People like that from your life, right? Probably into third parties, then maybe you were even a part of it just because you were around the energy, maybe to satisfy them or whatever. But they will always stay like that. In fact, there is no reversal because now they have STDs that they can't get rid of, right? What else do we gotta know, Spirit? What else do we need to see? Yeah. And you got away from all of those third parties, all of that nastiness, all of that STD environment with people that were really trying to control you and your movement forward, people that were stealing from you, people that were trying to control your money, right? To something ordained by God, a blessing from God, a family full of love, authentic love, not the fake love that these people claim that they give, right? And you got away from that and you're going towards someone where there's chemistry, right? Where you're both physically, mentally, and emotionally attracted to each other. Maybe you weren't even attracted to the last person you were dating. Maybe the only reason why you thought you were attracted to them was because of all of the witchcraft and energy manipulation that they've been doing on you. Maybe without you even knowing, because you thought that they were an angel, but really they're not. Kind of like me, right? I was like the opposite of what people would try to make me seem. Heading towards someone where you're gonna make love, right? Bomb ass, sweaty sex. Intense, right? That is something from God. God wants you to be in a marriage where there's chemistry, where you're physically, emotionally, and mentally attracted to your partner. That's what God wants for you. God does not want for you to be unhappy in an environment with third parties, where your wife or husband is thirsty and nasty and lusty and sick with STDs. No. That is when it's okay to get a divorce. That is when it's okay to separate. Because you got into that relationship when you weren't aligned. And yeah, look, when you unplug the plug from these people's life, when you walk away, when you leave, they will have no more energy source. Because you were the energy source in the house. Because remember, they can't connect to God. They can't connect to the universe. So what are they going to do? They're going to use you as their source. They're going to drain you. They're going to create fights and arguments to drain you. And that is how they will be able to, confirmation, thank you, beautiful birdie, to obtain energy for them to still wake up the next day and try to create more arguments and more. And now it's like they need that energy more than ever, right? Because they're running from the inside out, from all of the evil shit they've been doing. Not only to you, but to me. And others around. Many others around. They're little flying monkeys, come on. The little flying monkeys that they owe money to, that they haven't paid because they thought that I was going to be out of here. Yeah. All of y'all thought wrong. These people are all insecure, right? With no life purpose. Because their purpose was actually to clean out some past life karma. But instead, they did not want to do that this lifetime. So they just accumulated more karma. So now they really don't have any life purpose. And they're just wandering souls. With no spirit. Confirmation. That is why, and nothing these people do ever touches me, because these people have no spiritual gifts, have no powers, have nothing, right? They just do a little witchcraft here and then that only affects the 3D and the physical, but it does not affect me at all. Come on. I'm not gonna explain why. You should already know. But when I deal with people, when I send shit back, that is through the spirit. That is not through the 3D. That is not through any of that stuff. That's why when I send shit back, it hits them. It strikes them right across their fucking nasty little bodies. And then they try to demonize me. I'm sick because of Ray. I'm sick because this happened to me because Ray did some witchcraft on me. I mean, shut the fuck up, girl, and just endure it, because you deserve it. And stop doing drugs, stop doing meth, stop doing coke, right? That's what gives you the powers that you feel like you have when you do witchcraft, when you do rituals. Bribing people, right? So they could do the dirty work for you. Bribing police officers, bribing lawyers, bribing judges to make shit go in your favor, on top of all the witchcraft that you've been doing. On top of all the rituals that you've been doing. Sharing bodily fluids and sperm and spit. So you can get a person that wants nothing to do with you. Girl, how weird is that? But come on, that's what you can expect from insecure people. They will go to the highest extent to attempt, because they will never get it. Well, especially if it's, against me or something that has to do with me. To attempt. Which is why you have this whole organized crime against me that failed. Why did it fail? Because I am God's chosen one. God is not gonna... God literally dingled me like a bait in front of these people, so they could just get into more and more and more issues that now they can't get out of. But I do want to make something really emphasize on something. These people that literally are doing rituals, right? You could see these people as Catholic, Christians, Jews, whatever it is. These people, dibble and dabble in lower vibrational spiritual practices without you even knowing. They get together in the woods, at churches, on certain days, certain times. They all come together. They all have to work together because they have no powers, they have no spiritual gifts. They all have to gather each other's energy, right? 20, 30 people. Come on, let's think about Ray. Let's put this about Ray. So they can send it out to me. And what does Ray does? Ray can spy that shit from far away. And Ray can just be like, boop. Not only pop that little bubble of nasty energy, but actually send that bubble with 10 times the strength back. Thank you. So good thing on releasing what needed to be released. Because now you get to enjoy life. Now you get to be with people that actually love you. Like, how wonderful does that sound, guys? How beautiful and calming and peaceful does that sound, to be in an environment where you could just be yourself and not have to worry about people judging you when there's nothing wrong with you. That's what these people make you believe, but that's why they had to be released, right? So you could be happy. Okay, let's get one of these. Did I tell you guys I love the back of this car? It's like the parties. Oh, okay. Let's read this one. It says child. 13. Like the death number. When a sweet child smiles your way, innocence brings joy to fill your day. Friends are many. Enemies are few. Embrace a fresh start in all you do. And that is what I was saying, right? When you wake up in the morning, feel grateful. Be grateful for waking up under a roof. Be grateful for just waking up, period. And throughout your day, you will see how amazing things will happen, right? In anything that you do, embrace it. Enjoy whatever it is that you're doing. Because that is how you create more experiences like that. Children don't really think about things that have happened to them, which would block them from smiling, right? Kind of like me. That is why I say the reason why I have my spiritual gifts is because of my pure heart. No matter how much these people have tried to hurt me, no matter everything that I've been through, I wake up each and every day with a smile on my face and excited for whatever it is that I'm going to do. And it kills them. It kills these people. But that is okay, right? Okay. Actually, let's get one of these. It says, study. A new endeavor is upon you, and they may require new knowledge and skills. Oh, come on. Are you speaking about this? Where is it? Oh, yeah, right here. Talent, skills. Put the intention out to the universe, and the right teacher will soon find you. So I'm sure, right? You're putting it out to the universe by thinking about it, by manifesting it. It's like you want to learn more about this, so you research that subject more. And you learn about whatever it is that you can learn about by yourself, and the right teacher will come for that specific subject. Literally, just like that, just like magic. And then it says solitude. Spending time alone is often what we need to hear. To hear the whispers of our soul. that is something that not a lot of people are willing to do, right? Not everyone can be by themselves. It takes a lot of strength. And I can honestly say that is what has shaped me to being the man that I am today. Someone who's still kind-hearted and sweet, but also someone who would never allow anyone ever to disrespect them again. Who knows your worth. Who knows what they bring to the table. And a lot of the times we need time alone to just listen, quiet our mind. And that is what we obtain through meditation. But then if I say that, people are like, meditation, yeah. Why is it? Because you can't be alone for even 5 minutes. You can't close your eyes. But no, you need to do that. And if you want to spiritually grow. See all that black smoke coming out. So maybe you found interest in a subject, in a new subject, when you have spent time by yourself. And maybe this happened already. And now you're ready to learn more about it. Maybe learn more about it with people that are also interested in the same thing. And in an environment where you can continue to grow that 10 times more, and so many more ideas will come from that. Because imagine if one person like me is connected to God with natural gifts, natural abilities, natural ideas. Just imagine if there's other people with that same ability. Imagine what can happen if all of us come together and work together. Yeah, amazing, right? But all right, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Okay, bye.